folks of the YouTube world. It's me, and I'm here to show you something really cool. So, about a week ago, I want to say, a week and a half ago, I made a video showing off hard figures and a couple other makers, ventriloquist figures I am talking about. I wanted to continue from that video and show off my soft puppets that I've got, because I do have more soft puppets than hard figures. I am kind of more of a soft puppet guy, but I recommend either one. It depends on your personal taste. So the first one I would like to show you is from Folkmanis. Folkmanis makes a lot of the toy puppets, like the little tiny ones, and some of them are really highly detailed and really fine though. And so this first one I want to show you is one I've got here. It's a retired model, so this one you'd have to find secondhand or on eBay. They no longer sell it on their website. But this is one I used to use as a character named Ching. Now he's been kind of sitting around in my collection for a long time. I haven't really actively used him, quite a while. But so his mouth can move. You put your finger in now the tongue is very hard to control. Here, let's see if I can do this. You can put the tongue in the mouth like that and make it flick out. So you can do that. Or you can make his eyes move if you put your fingers through the rings. I use my ring and my pointer. You can move the eyes around like that. Kind of go in and out though, so it looks kind of goofy. But yeah. So this is he's about 40 inches. He's the red dragon puppet, the large version. They still do make the small version. He's I believe he's about 20 inches, about half this size, and he goes on the edge. Okay, smaller than 20 inches, smaller than half of this. I think he's around 15 inches maybe. And he goes on your fingers, and a couple of your fingers will work his arms, and his mouth moves. I do not believe his tongue moves like this one does, but I'll have to look into that one. Folkmanis is for beginning puppeteers, ventriloquists. You could even just use them as a hobby, whatever you want to do. They're very good for video making. They run in the economic range, definitely. I mean, I have one that was $50. He was a parrot one that I do not have on me right now. But yeah, they're not professional puppets by any means, but I adore their work. I love their work. Now, the next one I want to show you is one of the most well-known soft puppet makers in the ventriloquist community. Her and her daughter live in Virginia, in Salem, I believe. And I am talking about Mary Ann Taylor and Melissa Taylor. I have one of their creations right here. Oh, look at how handsome I look. This guy is basically a Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin tribute on my shows, but you can see the outstanding quality they put on their puppets. They do kind of a nice cartoony style, the four-finger style, like a lot of cartoons show. And then you've got nice cartoony face. It's very nice, striking eye color. The mouths are very telltale about Mary Ann Taylor's and Melissa Taylor's. When you open the mouth, it just has that simple felt tongue, and then you've got the styrofoam teeth on most of them. A lot of the creations they make, they start with these fish line, and these fish line cords make it so you can move the arms by moving the head, so it keeps the arms from hanging at their side like that. And so you can make, the puppet dance like that. And then, as he's casually talking, his arms will move a little bit. Very nice figure. They're not too pricey. That's the thing you'll find with soft puppets. Most of them are around the $500 range, including the Mary Ann Taylors. Their website is matpuppets.com. That's the business name they go by. And so I have their card on here if you want to contact them. Let me grab that for you. This video is going to be a little longer because this video might be about 30 minutes. I was not expecting the last video to be 20 minutes. It felt like 10 minutes when I was filming it. I'm sorry. I put timestamps on the description of it, and I'm gonna put timestamps in the description of this one. So to contact Mary Ann Taylor Puppets, you may contact them at matpuppets@comcast.net, or you can reach their phone number at 540-389-2528, and their website is matpuppets.com. I have their card. And they have this nice little design on the card, if you can see that. Very, very nice design. Very professional design. I adore what she does, or what they do. I'm not sure if Melissa makes what Melissa exactly does. I believe Mary Ann does the puppets, but Melissa might help with the materials. I'm not too sure how they work. They work together, definitely. They collab. Now the next one I want to talk about is another big legend in the soft puppet community. This next one I want to talk about is TheDummyShoppe, Jet and Steve. Jet's real name is Julie, but she goes by Jet, so that's not like it's a nickname. It's not like it's like an initial. So the first one I want to show you, I've got two of their creations. I want to show you this one first. Oh, coffee, 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 I'm not gonna get coffee if they're doing this, I'm not gonna get coffee, I'm not gonna get coffee, I'm not gonna get coffee. Oh, would you calm down? Loud, not coffee, loud, not coffee, loud, not coffee, loud, not coffee. Daddy, daughter, that's some daughter, that's okay, would you Okay, so this guy is Cockroach. He's like my hyper coffee maniac kind of character. Now Jet has a different style than Mary Ann Taylor. You can see with Jet, she does this kind of design inside the mouth. Almost all of her puppets look like that. There's a couple that don't. She usually has the foam teeth with this little gray paint there. The tongue is spray painted in, I believe. The eyes are also pretty telltale. She does more detailed eyelids than Mary Ann Taylor does. Oh, and something I forgot to say too. Some of these can offer extra animations. I've seen Mary Ann Taylor's that can raise their eyebrows. I'm not sure about eye movement in them. Jet puppets, you can order eye movement, moving eyebrows, or blinking eyes. I have the other one that does that. But you can only order one at a time, unless it's a head stick puppet. So I wanted to let you know that. And when you put arm rods on them, I did this. These arm rods, by the way, are Dan Horn arm rods. Contact Dan Horn, he's the master of soft puppets. I am telling you, check his stuff out. He makes these arm rods he can sell you for about $50, I think. That's what he sold me them for. And you could, yeah. So you can see the quality that Jet and Steve put into their characters. They usually come fully dressed. This guy is awesome with all the little piercings. These are all safety pins going into him. He has this little ring in his nose. Not many people notice that. It's kind of small. And, yeah. He has a female counterpart that I believe they're still selling, and she even has a tongue ring, a little stud there. I'll show you the other Jet I've got. Here, this guy I custom ordered, so he's not in their default catalog. He looks similar to one because they use a base typically, but oh man, I have no idea where I am right now, man. Whoa. So this guy has the blinking eyelids, as you can see, added on. Jet puppets typically start at about 500 or 550, sometimes 600. Extra animations, I believe the eyelids are 75, but I could be wrong. Now it's hard to explain how to work these extra animations. So I'll try to explain this as best I can. So, the moving eyelids in Jet puppets, if I can bring that closer to the camera here. So they move, they can blink like that. His don't go all the way closed though. Or they can go wide like that. And so to work this, she has a piece of brass in the head. This piece of brass bends back like this. You take your middle finger and you pull back to close them, and you push forward to widen. And then your pointer finger and your thumb fit into the mouth straps in the jaw to move the mouth. And that's something I wanted to talk about too. Jets typically have straps in the mouths, so your fingers go in and they work them like that. The other one I work with my middle end because he doesn't have any extra moving animations. Mary Ann Taylor's typically don't. And just the solution to do that, to move the mouth easier without the mouth straps, is just do this with your hand, cross your middle finger over your pointer, and do that. If you have bigger hands, you may not need to worry about that, but I have pretty small hands. I'm kind of a smaller guy. I'm quarter Mexican. Leave me alone. But yeah, so these are Jet's creations. Wonderful. This costume, I believe she special ordered for this, so it's really special she did that for me. Because when I ordered them, I just ordered them with a Pink Floyd concert tee and a pair of jeans. Now let's see, I can keep it down here. Now the next one I want to show off, before I go into the most well-known, I want to show off an up-and-coming guy. This guy is a very good buddy of mine, and I very much appreciate this puppet he made for me. This puppet's a full custom. He doesn't do catalog figures, he only does full custom, so no one of his creations, or no two of his creations are the same. So this next one is by Charles Prouty. He lives in Texas somewhere. Charles, please correct me. And he made George, my grumpy old man, a wife. I don't even care! And you probably already seen her because I teased her on the other video, and I had a video of like a second of her jokes on stage. They don't care! Now, Charles does wonderful puppets. They're bigger puppets than Marianne Taylor's and Jet's. They're bigger, but they look wonderful on stage. It's a good thing they're bigger. I like when they're bigger. And typically his only have the moving mouth, but I'm not sure if he does it yet, but I think he was working on blinking eyes. So Charles, forgive me if I teased that on accident. I don't know if you do them yet. But they have posable fingers, so you could do that. Now you could do thumbs up. You could, let's see. Okay, well it's a little tough to do that right now, but Charles fully ordered this costume for her. So I appreciate that he did that, and these hair curlers, and everything about her is superb. She's a hit on stage. Now his puppets, they don't have mouth straps, but they have little holes where you put, I mean I can't show this on camera unfortunately, but they have little holes where you reach up into the mouth and you just put your fingers in. They're very comfortable. Your hand doesn't wear out when you use them. The trick to these soft puppets when they build these, put her there. The trick to these soft puppets when they make the moving molds, they have a little something here so your hand isn't like this trying to work it, because this will cause fatigue and possibly arthritis or carpal tunnel syndrome. And I've had something like that, and you don't want it. They usually have your hand like this. All the professional soft puppets have that. They're wonderful. They're wonderful. Now the next one I want to show you is the most well-known soft puppet maker. His name is Steve Axtell. I have two of his creations, so I'm going to show off my main one first. Oh, is it time for the show? Okay. Oh, when you're drinking, yeah, when you're drinking, the show looks good to you. Okay, when you're drinking, you get stinking. Alright, enough. It helps you. Shh. Now this guy is the Ed Nerd catalog puppet that Steve Axtell makes. Or I should say Axtell Expressions. He has a team of people. I don't want to give all the credit to one person, but Steve, you are wonderful. I love your creations. I love your work. They recently made a Donald Trump puppet that I'm thinking about buying. But he's absolutely wonderful. You may notice his creations are latex, which is a pretty good material. Very unique kind of look to his puppets. He can do anything with his face. He can, you know, he can do that. They can do a lot of things. The thing with latex, though, you don't want to touch it with your bare hands because it's a material that will eventually die. Axtells will typically last a number of years before you need to get a replacement. And to combat that, Steve recommends you put 303 aerospace on the puppets. He used to recommend Armor All, but it has changed to 303 aerospace, so if you're still putting Armor All on your Axtell, please switch over. 303 aerospace protects the latex because the Earth's ozone is what damages it. It'll start taking paint off, and he actually has a little yellow spot on his lip. And so he might be due for a replacement one of these days. But yeah, absolutely wonderful puppets. All soft puppets are very, very lightweight. I mean, he doesn't weigh a thing at all. That's why I like soft puppets so much, because I'm not strong. But yeah, they're wonderful. He plays the drunk uncle in my shows. They're easy to dress. They're phenomenal. The head movement is amazing. You can see that how free that is to move. And then, you know, the arm movement, flawless. I don't have an arm rod on him currently, so forgive me for doing this. So yeah, that's one of my Axtells, and I'll show you my other one here. And Axtells are actually the cheapest, the most economic out of all of these guys. They typically, your average Axtell puppet starts around $230, $240. There's some that are about $80 or $90, $100, $120. Those ones are smaller though, just so you know. Heads up. They're probably, I mean, Buffy the Bird, or Benny the Bird is probably about that. He's such an adorable puppet. Oh, and I forgot to mention Charles Prouty's price range. He tries to stay around $550, but he does full custom work. So if you're looking for a full custom puppet, and you're not looking to spend a ton of money, but you're still looking for quality, look no farther than my buddy Charles. He would appreciate you. And now, my other Axtell here. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I don't think I have to memorize a script for this kind of video. Now, I have the bird arm illusion for this. I just forgot to grab it for the camera. Now, this is a Scarlet Macaw. And this is my buddy Maxi. He is the real Macaw from their product line. Shh. Can you imitate a duck? Can you imitate a dog? I love this puppet. You may notice how real he looks, and that is because he is made with dyed duck feathers. They look very similar to a Scarlet Macaw's because they're duck feathers and they're dyed to the colors of a macaw. He's kind of three different materials. He's latex on the face and on the talons, so you still have to put 303 aerospace on, and on the beak as well. He's kind of like a synthetic fur on most of his body. Don't know how to describe it, but it feels very interesting to the touch. Pretty cool. There's a version where you can, where the wings can come out. I don't know how to describe this. They span out like that. I do not have that, but it's a string that you pull. It adds a couple $100 to him. And you can also order him in a blue and gold color, and Steve can most likely do custom colors on these. They're absolutely wonderful. With the bird arm illusion, it looks like your real arm is coming out with a gloved hand, and the bird sits on it. Very realistic. I recommend it. Watch my performance video from Grenshaw Brickyard Days. I do demonstrate him on camera because he was part of that act. He was the intro character, the opening character. The opening act. Now, who do I want to show next here? Well, there's a little bonus I want to show you, because it looks like I've ran through all my soft puppets here that I have on hand. So I want to show you this next. Now, I told you about, I was talking about Albert Alfaro's other creations when I was showing off my Albert Alfaro ventriloquist figure. He makes these other things called Drabbits, and the Drabbits are basically mythical creatures that you wear on your shoulder. They're little cable puppets. You operate with a little cable. It's like a bicycle cable. Some of them can open their mouth, move their head, their wings. Mine just moves his head. Let me show them to you. So these guys are so gorgeous for how little they are. I absolutely adore them. I don't have the cords too well together because I haven't tied them to myself really. Let me see. Basically, put them on your shoulder. It is your personal preference where you tie them onto you. Let's see if I can get them on. It adds a little pressure when I'm doing this in front of a video camera. Let me just tie that real quick. What? Get my finger over there. These are thicker cords. So here's how they sit. I didn't put the cable down my shirt like you normally would if you're wearing long sleeves. Find the cable. There it is. So the cable looks like this. So it's a bike cable. What can I say? He's loose on me too. So you can see by pushing that, his head's moving. So you push it in, the head goes up, release it, head goes back down. You can twist it to the side, and the head looks sideways. On mine, it seems he looks toward you better than away from you. Something about the sensitivity, I'm not sure. They're absolutely wonderful, and I want to show them up close to the camera for you, just so you can see the exquisite detail that Albert Alfaro puts into them. He has an online store though that he sells these. If you go to imaginariumgalleries.com and go to his online store, he sells ventriloquist figures. He currently only has a Malcolm on there, so if you're looking for a Malcolm from his product line, and he's a stringy, so mouth movement only, but very, very inexpensive. I was thinking of getting them. So let me show you here the detail on these. It's wonderful. If you've ever been to a Renaissance fair, odds are you've seen at least a couple of these. You know, you could headbang, you could, you know, dun, dun, let's see, dun, 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 you know, anything like that. I wanted to show you that because it's something I absolutely adore. I got them for Christmas a couple of years ago. Oh, I don't believe there's anything else I can show you. One of these days soon, there's a ventriloquist figure I'm working on. I'm working on a replica of a Frank Marshall ventriloquist figure, a Nosy. I can't tell you where I got the parts from because I've made an agreement with the person who sold me them. But he's going to be a wonderful figure. He's going to look a lot like a Marshall. Once that is completed, I want to do a video that shows off my entire collection of ventriloquist figures because I'm looking at a couple right now that aren't on camera. I've got a couple of Jura ones sitting over there. I've got a Folkmanis Raven. Let me just show you that real quick. I'm sure I'm running okay on time. I'm putting timestamps on the video, so it ain't no big deal. It ain't no big deal. Here's the Folkmanis, I don't know how it's said, Raven. So you get that lovely moving mouth. I bought him at a local shop. And he has little holes in his wings, so you could put your hand in and operate his wings. I was thinking of building some kind of pulley mechanism so he can flap his wings while he's on me, and I'd just pull the cord and it would do it. And he's wonderful. He even looks good on my bird arm illusion for Halloween. Nether lore, nether lore. So that's my Raven. So guys, thank you for watching this video. I wanted to thank all my YouTube subscribers. I've been noticing my subscriber count has been going up very rapidly. I have no idea why that is. But guys, I can't help but thank you enough. Love all you guys. I want to make good content for you guys that you guys enjoy. I don't want to stick to one subject. I want to make everything for you guys. I mean, this is part of my YouTube. I had YouTube since 2007. I used to only upload video game stuff. Mortal Kombat, and then 2008 I started uploading a couple ventriloquist videos. Those were old prototype videos that I no longer have, unfortunately. I wish I could surface them for you, but they're gone. I can't. But you guys, I can't thank you enough for enjoying my videos and watching them, subscribing, liking, commenting. I love when you guys comment because I like seeing active comment feeds. So go ahead, leave a comment, leave a like, leave a subscribe. Leave some money. No, I'm kidding about the last one, but seriously, thank you guys so much.